Hey everyone, Utuni here again with another video. Before I continue on, you'll remember this song? Yeah, that cool tune? Well, surprisingly enough, I was browsing through some videos on YouTube and I found that song again, and it unlocked a lot of memories for me. Because it came from this game. So I told myself, hey, let's play this game again. But rather than just play it as usual, we're going to also do it on an impossible difficulty. Because why not? Also, for an added bonus, not only will I complete the first game on impossible, I will also play the second game and the third game. Yes, I am surprised that there was a third game in this series. So what are we waiting for? Let's dive right into it. Now we start with the classic. We select the difficulty and jump right in. So, what is the difference between impossible and the other difficulties? Well, my good person, spawn rates are increased, enemy damage is higher. For example, their clubman can kill my clubman in 2 hits, while I will need several hits to kill theirs. And I believe their evolution is faster. So how can we beat this if they clearly have the upper hand? Simple. By doing the minimalist amount of gameplay. Basically, we start by using our special, the Dinosaur Exterminator, to get some cash. And with that, we buy the MP Clucker as a defense. After that, we just start buying Clubmen, the cheapest of the Cavemen. Our goal is to hold the enemy at bay while our chicken poops eggs on them, which I guess are hard-boiled or something because it does eventually kill the enemy units. And that is pretty much our strategy. Yes, very minimal. Other than buy more turrets and keep spamming Clubmen. Every time the special is ready, we can use it to clear more enemy units out. Yes, this strategy is slow, and I mean slow. You'll see what I mean when we get there. Don't worry about tank units. Even if they're one-shotting the Clubmen, with our sheer numbers and specials, we can hold off. Now they are in the medieval age, and spawning knights and crossbowmen. At this point, expect everything to one-shot the Clubmen. Oh look, they're in a Renaissance age. So now we're dealing with duelists, musketeers, and eventually the cannoneer. Again, nothing to worry about, except for the lag that's starting to happen. And I am not kidding, this is the game right now on normal speed. Oh, did you see that? That is our sheer force of cavemen. They will clean up anything close to our base. And with that, we continue on. Ah, they're finally in the modern age. Now this is where it will matter regarding the caveman spam, as the melee infantry can shank our dudes very quickly, and the ranged infantry can gun down our dudes, especially if there are 2 of them. Oh no. Oh no 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 no. They sent an actual tank against us. Now, how do you think this will turn out? Yep, just like I thought. They have the technology, but we have the brawn. After more tanks are defeated, they finally enter the future age, meaning we don't have to worry about them evolving anymore. Also, off topic, but how are they getting the XP and cash to fund their operations? They're just slaughtering cavemen. They're like 20 coins apiece. But I digress. Their blasters are what we need to worry about. With two of them together, they will gun down a large swarm of cavemen very quickly. So if we do not prepare our large mass, then the game could be over very quickly. And we're like roughly 35-40 minutes in. And luckily, with my game lagging so badly, it means that we have plenty of cavemen to spare. Despite the painful viewing right now. Alright, so this is where our moment shines. Once we hit 400,000 gold, we quickly evolve into the future age and start replacing our chickens with ion rays. The whole reason for the 400,000 is because they're worth 100k apiece. Once we have them replaced, we are basically done with spamming units. At this point, we can save up money and buy ourselves a super soldier, which can help us lead to victory. And like I mentioned, the ion rays will help us clean up everything. But my game is moving so slow right now, so I really want the enemy to kill off most of our cavemen so that the game can, run normally again. Either they kill us, we kill them, or my game crashes. Who knows what can happen. We're getting closer to their base for once in this game. Also, did you notice that the ion ray attacks so close to the enemy base that some shots hit their base instead? Wow. I'm actually surprised our cavemen are still holding out. Huh. You know what? They might actually win the game for us. Look how... Come on, bros, you got it. Oh, we're so close. Oh, gosh, dang it. Okay, we have a tank to deal with. It's okay, it's okay. We have our super soldier helping. And yes. That's how we do it, kings. Cavemen for the win. We started with them, and we finished with them. I'll be honest, that was a good run. Despite the lag, it was a very good run. I'm proud of myself. I'm proud of all the cavemen, too. Alright, now that the party's over, let's go on to the second game. Alright, on to the second game. Which, honestly... it's not as difficult or tedious as the first one, just requires some basic strategy. The enemy still does more damage and the like, but the one thing I did not like is that they can also use specials. But I think it's only once per evolution. So we just need to be careful of how many units we send out before their special is used. Also, specials now cost XP, so we will need to be mindful of that. Now, when you look at the screen, you'll notice that we have upgrades this time on the top right. And one of those upgrades will also unlock a special unit per age, which is kind of cool, I guess. It makes you strategize a bit, but we won't be using it as much. We also have a population limit to deal with, so we can't even do the caveman spam as we did in the first game. So this will be the first game we're going to play normally. Once we get our bearings, here's the strategy I used that worked. It may not be the best one, but it's a doable one. Basically, I focused on two unit types, the support and the anti-tank. I used the anti-tank to be my shield for the support, while the support will shoot up ahead. Now, I know you can use armored units instead of the anti-tank, but because they're more expensive, and because of the difficulty, they just die very fast, so I just used something that was more practical. There are some new ages in this game compared to the first, like the Spartan age, and again we use the same strategy. We use the assault Spartans up ahead and then the ranged Spartans in the back. Now we enter the Egyptian Age. Okay, I have to comment. Brother, why you look like the Daily Mail's future gamer? Fix that neck. You're making us all look bad. Okay, no more insults, but the priests shoot light balls that can arch over enemies, so they can hit more enemies in the back. Which is cool. Also, keep in mind, we are still upgrading our support and anti-tank units, so basically, for the support, their range, the anti-tank, their armor. That way, eventually the game will start feeling like it's normal difficulty. Soon we enter in the medieval age, which again, use the mages in the front line and our archer in the back. Honestly though, both units have the same amount of health, but the mage does not have range, which is odd, but whatever. Now we're in the Renaissance age, which our anti-tank, the cannon, has range, and is a good unit on its own. Again, cannon in the front, rifleman in the back, until we hit the next stage. Nothing too special, but, I don't know, a lot of cannons. Now in the modern age, which we are back with Armymen. The grenade soldier is the anti-tank for this age, and our machine gun soldier is our support. At this time, our upgrades should be close to max for these units, so we just need to send our units in this pattern until we hit the final age, the future age. Once there, we are basically going to be using a lot of mad scientists and cyborgs. They're strong enough with our upgrades, so you can probably spam them in any order. Now, you will notice that the enemy base is fortified with turrets. So we'll need something tough enough to be our shield, which is the special unit for in this age, God's Wrath. Once unlocked, we'll send out one to see how much damage it can withstand. And honestly, feels like we're going to need two of them. So we work on getting more money. And eventually, we'll send out a few combat armored suits to take the initial damage of everything, and then send the two God's Wrath in the back. Let's see how much we can clean up before we get to their base. Once we get close to their base, the turrets will fire everything they got. The first God Wrath will be destroyed, but the second one will lead us to the base, where we will unload everything. And soon, we get a victory. Finally, onto the third one. Alrighty. As I mentioned earlier, I did not realize there was a third game in this series. So, yeah. This is actually my first time playing it. We get a small cutscene, going over the game.
In this short tutorial, we will help you understand the game. You begin at the Stone Age, and you defend yourself against the same age as yours. The goal is to... What is that? That's not part of the tutorial. Is it coming toward us? Oh my... Get down! Get down! At least it didn't hit us. It looked like a meteor or something. Where was I? Oh, right. So the goal is to go, my... Aliens! What the hell is going on? We don't have much time. Get out there and fight for your life!
And after a short tutorial, we begin to play the game. So for this game, we need to build unit buildings to spawn our units. Yes, this time the units auto-spawn as long as we build their structures. We can only have a max of 6 structures in the back, so we have to be mindful of what we build. Also, population. But hey, it's 30 this time. Also, evolving will remove everything from the previous age, but we'll get the money to rebuild for the new age. The aliens can evolve too, but it's just a new alien unit that gets added to the mix. Now, do I have a strategy? Not really. I just use what can work, or something that was working. But what I was doing was, I was building the water units because they will grab water from these watering holes, which will generate our funds for this battle. We can also get money from defeating aliens, but it's not as much. After that, I get some basic ground units, like 1 for melee, 1 for range, and 2 air units. Eventually, when I have enough money, I start to send out tank units. Or armored units, whatever the game calls it. And basically, that is what I did in every age. I'll be honest, even at this point, I still have no idea what's happening most of the time, other than the units being spawned in and fighting is happening. But the goal is to win, so there's no complaining from me. Once we have enough XP, we evolve into the castle age. Very creative, I know. And basically, we repeat what we did in the Stone Age. Also, we unlock the best special in my opinion, the Arrow Storm, as it attacks both air and ground troops, and it does help with the cleanup. Once again, we get enough XP to evolve into the Renaissance Age. And what do you know? We rinse and we repeat. Also, the special for this age is a giant wheel that runs over everything on the ground, which is cool, but still not as good as the arrows since it doesn't touch any air units. I did have a few close calls with the aliens, but we're still holding out strong, and soon we evolve into the modern age. And guess what? The game also began to lag, despite there being a population limit of 30. So eventually we continue on, and I bring in my air units. Which, there is a cool stealth bomber, which I thought would be a game changer, but the aliens destroyed them with ease, so I guess not. Finally, with enough XP, we evolve into the future age. Which, these guys look like these little dudes. Huh, cool. So how do we finish this game? Well, we'll bring more anti-fly units, because the flying aliens are more annoying compared to the ground ones. I'll also bring in some tanks to help clean up the ground, and also to leave my range units to be attacking from the back. Also, arrow spam. Yes, I am still using that special, even in this age. It is very useful. Once we destroyed the aliens' turrets, we are finally in the home stretch. Just keep spamming arrows and eventually, through our sheer force, we defeat the alien threat. Oh yeah. Even though my time was 39 minutes, the game took me an hour and a couple minutes because of the lag. Oh, you silly lag. Well, that was fun. Here we are again. So for conclusion, what happened? We beat Age of War on Impossible, and we also beat Insane for both Age of War 2 and Army of Ages. Do I have a favorite one? Or a least favorite one? Yes, I do. The first game will always hold dear to me due to its simplicity. And again, this is my opinion, so please don't get mad at me, but I really did not like the Army of Ages one. Like, the elements of Age of War are there, but it just felt like it missed something, or the fact that it seemed very complicated. But I digress. We still beat all three on the highest difficulty, so that's an achievement of its own. Again, I thank you all for watching and leaving likes and comments. It does help me figure out how to improve, and I hope I get to present you all with another video of me beating another game from our childhoods. Thank you everyone, and take care. See you again soon.